All right, so in this lesson, we're going to talk about the principle of least privilege and how we can apply it in our own security practices. So here's a short relevant quote from Jerry Saltzer, who is a domain expert within security and distributed networks. And essentially what the quote says is that all programs and users on a system should only have the privileges that are necessary to complete their intended purposes. And we'll see what he means by that in a second. So to a certain extent, at the application layer, we're already kind of doing this for our Mflix users. For example, we make sure that only certain resources and privileges are available to users who have been logged in. And even those users have different permissions from each other. For example, a user only has the permission, once they're logged in, to delete their own comments and no one else's. So MongoDB actually offers the same sort of robust user management at the database level. So by creating a database user specifically for the application, we can, in a more granular way, select the privileges and resources that Mflix should have access to. So this kind of forces us to ask the question, should the application be able to create indexes or create new collections? Or should the application be able to drop an entire database? Questions like these tend to require some foresight about what actions the application should be able to perform, so they won't always be easy to answer. But they are very important in order to prevent the application from accessing a resource that it should never need. If the application has permission to use an important collection that it's not programmed to ever use, then that permission exists only as a vulnerability in our application, and we should remove it. So that's all for now about security. We highly recommend that if you're interested, you should take our MongoDB security course to learn more about securing your MongoDB deployments in production. So just to recap, make sure to engineer your systems with the principle of least privilege in mind. In order to do this, we have to first consider what kinds of users we'll have on our system and what kind of permissions they'll need. This includes application users who will be using the application itself, and database users who will connect to and apply operations against the database.